Hi guys, I'm back with another ghost story. Well, one of my ghostly experiences from the past. I told you the other day about the phone call, the strange phone call that I had coming from inside my house with my number. Still don't have a clue. It's got to be spiritual. Um, because otherwise, what? And I mean, unless it messed up at the phone center place. I don't know, but it was just weird. Like, what? I've never had it before. Again, never had it before, never had it since. So it's still pretty odd, you know. And then with the old lady previously. Well, what I'm going to do is sticking with the experiences I had at the house I lived in for 14 years with my husband and my three children, and then I went on to have a fourth child as well. But these experiences are from when I only had the three children. And what happened, I mean, there's many I can tell you about, and I will tell you. I'm going to make this a regular thing because you all seem to be enjoying it, and it's good, to have a good ghosty chat, isn't it? And learn about what people have been through and all that kind of thing and their experiences. So basically, I lived in this house for 14 years, and this experience, we had a cluster of experiences around the time of 2002 to around 2004, 2005, something like that. And then obviously after that as well, and I will include those later on as well. But these are the main cluster of ones we had. It was all happening very quickly, all at once. Now, this one experience that I remember very clearly, I know this is going to sound like a really funny story to start with, but I was in bed, hubby and me were in bed watching TV, and I sat there and I thought, oh, I could just do with a Marmite sandwich because I'm Marmite sandwich crazy. Anyway, I thought I could just do with a Marmite sandwich. I said, oh, Rich, come down with me to get a sandwich because it was really late at night. I said, just come down with me to get something. He said, all right. So off we went down the stairs. Kids were in bed, asleep. Went down the stairs. And our stairs came down into the hallway like that. And then the stairs were here. Say you're on from your side. Stairs were there. Rich was sat here on the stairs and the kitchen was here. So I was in the kitchen. I could see him sitting on the stairs waiting for me while I made this Marmite sandwich. Oh, and I had a penguin as well, just to let you know. Um, So I was making this sandwich, but anyway, talking to him, this, that, rah, rah, rah. Oh, yeah, butter, Marmite, whatever, right? Lovely. And I went to speak to him, and I thought what I saw was him get up and walk into the living room because the living room was just off of the hall. And I went, where are you going? And I froze. He was just still sat on the stairs going, what? I just couldn't move. I couldn't speak. I couldn't move. I could barely breathe. And I was just looking, and what I could see was the back of this very tall man with long white flowing hair flowing down his back. It looked, if you can imagine Merlin, I know it sounds really out there, but it's a way I can describe it to you. He had like a powder blue long cloak to the floor and a powder blue pointy hat. It wasn't wizardy or witchy, it just looked, it was kind of Merlin looking, the old fashioned pointy hat. It wasn't a witch one as such. It was more just like a round, and it was going up like that. And he had really, really long white hair flowing behind him. And he was walking into my living room. He was not aware of me whatsoever because I went, and I just obviously froze. And I was just watching him walk in, and I thought any second now he's going to turn around and speak to me, and I'm literally going to crap myself. He didn't. He walked just into my living room, off into my living room. He walked with his hair flowing behind him. And I was just stood there, frozen, fixated to the spot, looking at this guy walking into my living room, thinking, who's that? Like, your brain does a 360. It goes logic, logic, logic. As someone broke in. No, who in a powder blue cloak and hat would be with long white hair would be? And he didn't walk. As much as I know it sounds cliche, but he kind of just glided. And he didn't pay any attention to me whatsoever. And Rich was just going to me, what, what's what? And I was just going, shaking my head because I could not speak. I could not speak or anything. And I just went, I was scared to move from the spot. You know, when they say frozen with fear, that literally was how I felt for the first time in my life. I actually experienced that. And so anyway, I picked up the sandwich really slowly and I just sort of walked in like this scared to look state up to Richard was just going, what the heck? I was scared to speak, so I went, I'll tell you in a minute, right? Really quietly. I said, just come upstairs. We got up the top of the stairs and I still couldn't bring myself to speak. We got in the bedroom and I just put the sandwich down I got in bed and I pulled the covers over me and I was just like that. And he was going to be, what? I went, come under here. Because I was scared he was going to hear me. I was convinced this guy was going to hear me and just something was going to happen. I didn't know. So I said, he came under. And after about 5 minutes of him going to me, Melanie, will you just tell me? I literally couldn't get the words out. I couldn't find the words to tell him what I'd seen. And eventually I told him. And he was like, what? I said, yeah. So he said, I'll tell you what, I'll go downstairs and I'll have a look around just to put your mind at rest to see, there's nobody's got in. Not that, like I say, the powder blue outfit and the 2003, too. Okay, but he did. So off he gets and he goes, I'm in bed, just like still paralyzed with fear. He goes down the stairs and looks around and then he comes back up and he says, and he stopped halfway up the stairs. And I thought, ooh. And then he came in the bedroom and he said, is there anything on my back? And I said, oh, yeah, you've got like scratches on your back. Like red risen hives, like, not wheels, but like risen up scratches. Several of them. Like he just walked through a blackberry bush. And he said, yeah, it's really sore. And I said, oh my good gracious. Well, I since know that if you get those marks, it's spirit. Because he said it felt like cobwebs went over him. Now I know that is a sign of spirit. If you feel a cobweb and there's nothing there, that's the spirit touching you or connecting with you. But his was scratched. Like it wasn't great. I was thinking no nice spirit would be doing this. Not that I'm blaming the guy in blue, but I think there was more than one spirit in our house. I will tell you other stories as well along the way about that house. It was, and the house after that. I've got plenty. So we were just sort of sat there, both kind of like shook a bit, like, this is weird. We need to do something about this. Like, what can we do? We didn't know we were stuck. And, that particular experience didn't happen again with the guy in blue. And Richard never did get scratched again, or me, nor anybody else was touched again. We've got, like I say, there are so many experiences that I have had in that house. I will tell you about them. But that was just the beginning, really, of the cluster of experiences that happened around that time for us, and beyond to the next house we lived in as well. Thankfully, I will just say, thankfully in this house, I know I say it all the time, but I'm a witch and I work with spirit, and I know now how to interact with spirit so that these things don't get escalated, whether, if spirit are lost, I know I can pick up, and communicate, send them on and stuff like that. So it's lovely. It's a peaceful house. This house has got a beautiful atmosphere. I'm very lucky and very glad now that rather than keep fighting my gift, I'm working with it now, and hence it's helped me so much. So much better than just keep fighting it and going, oh, I'm being scared and all that jazz. But yeah, I will give you more stories. I will tell you more stories. Let me know what you think about the guy in blue and the scratches. What are your thoughts? Have you ever experienced anything like this or anything similar? Let me know your stories and your thoughts, and comment, like, subscribe, share, do the ghosty thing, and have a lovely Sunday. It's actually Sunday today, but I'll probably be uploading this Monday. I'm actually, just to let you know, next time you see me, I'll probably have a different colour hair, because I'm actually going to go probably a copper colour for a change. I've had black hair too long now, and anybody that knows me knows that I don't keep the same hair colour very long. So not that you're interested in that, I'm just saying, don't be like, oh, who's that? It's gonna be me. Anyway, like I say, have a wonderful weekend, the rest of your Sunday anyway, and I will see you on the next Ghost Spooky story. Bye.